Hi everyone! Last time we talked about what communication is, its process and elements. This time we will be talking about the functions of communication. Are you ready? Communication is very vital to human beings. People communicate for several reasons. The reason can be regulation and control, social interaction, motivation, emotional expression, and information dissemination. Collectively, these reasons are called functions of communication. Each function is based on the speaker's purpose for communicating. The first function is regulation and control. In here, the speaker's purpose is to control others by managing their behavior. Regulation and control as a function of communication means a person is able to use language, behavior, emotion, and gesture to manage individual or a group in an activity. For instance, the barangay chairman is making an announcement to the people in the community shall follow the required health protocols. In this example, the purpose of the barangay chairman is to regulate or control the action or behavior of his constituents through his announcement. Other instances are when DOH is requiring us to wear face masks when we go out, when you are telling someone to be quiet, and when someone is encouraging you to continue discussing the topic. Another function is social interaction. This is the most familiar and the primary reason why people communicate. Humans talk for the sole purpose of coming together as a society. It allows people to be connected with one another. People do not only talk because they enjoy, like, or love talking. They are involved in conversation to blend in a particular group they belong. They relate experiences, behavior, decisions, and opinions as a foundation for them to create and sustain relationships. In doing so, communication acts as social interaction. This function of communication allows people to be connected. A newcomer in a group can create relationship through taking opportunities for interaction. However, for people you barely know, such as acquaintances, co-workers, employers, and online strangers, we tend to be careful disclosing so much of our personal life. You will likely impress yourself differently since there is no familiarity and intimacy towards these people. One has to keep in mind the following practices of a successful conversation. 1. Do not monopolize the conversation. Give equal opportunity for both parties to say something. Number 2. Be emphatic. Show interest with the subject of conversation. Number 3. Be aware, interested, and willing to accept the message. Number 4. Listen attentively. And number 5. Understand the value of the message. The third function is motivation. This is used to persuade another person to change his or her opinion, attitude, or behavior. Think of a reason why you would still go to school and do all activities prompt in the lessons. What makes you strive in finishing your studies? Who or what keeps you motivated? Communication fosters motivation by clarifying to someone what is to be done, how well he or she is doing, and what can be done to improve performance if it's subpar. The formation of specific goals, feedbacks on progress toward the goals, and reinforcement of desired behavior all stimulate motivation and require communication. Example: Martha shares her insights on how to do better during online classes. In this example, communication functions as motivation. Next is emotional expression. speaker appeals to the listener's feelings and emotions to encourage him to act in a particular direction. Our emotions are communicated to others with verbal or nonverbal language like facial expressions, body gestures, or postures. Some expressions of emotion have an automatic effect on others. When there is a difference in what a person communicates non-verbally versus verbally, the other person will usually respond to the non-verbal expression. The emotional expression is fundamental to show one's frustrations and feelings of satisfaction. Once you know how you feel, you then consider how you will express your emotion. Communication provides release for the emotional expression of feelings and for fulfillment of social needs. Example: Monica shares her personal frustrations with Therese. And when you personally thank your parents for their support, you use communication for emotional expression. The fifth basic function of communication is information or information dissemination. It is used when the speaker wants to make others aware of certain data, concepts, and processes. It is important to have facts or needed information to come up with a solution to a problem or making decisions by transmitting the data to identify and evaluate alternative choices. When the President delivers a State of the Nation address and when the Mayor presents his strategies and plans in a public forum, communication is used for information dissemination. Again, there are 5 basic functions of communication. These are regulation or control, social interaction, motivation, emotional expression, and information dissemination. Here are the important things that we should remember. In control or regulation, communication functions to control behavior. For social interaction, communication allows individuals to interact with others. For motivation, communication motivates or encourages people to live better. For emotional expression, communication facilitates people's expression of their feelings and emotions. And for information dissemination, communication functions to convey information. Now, can you think of other instances where each function of communication is manifested? So that ends our lesson. See you on the next video.